Yeah, there we
Oh,
go.
did you hear that too?
Yeah,
That
I
was
heard
loud.
that. All
That's
right.
crazy. All right, welcome back to the Right Brain Podcast. I'm your host, Paul Von Simpson. With me today, I actually didn't ask him before hitting record. How should I call you, man? Is it RR Benny, double R Benny? What's going on?
Yeah, double R Benny. That's how I said it in my head at least.
All right.
When I came up with it. But RR Benny. It sounds kind of cool, like George R. Martin type of thing. So it's
Yeah,
like,
it's got that sophisticated vibe.
yeah, exactly, exactly. Whichever one. I'm cool with
He's
both, but
he's
double
written
R
like
Benny.
18,000 books.
I know, isn't he still? He still hasn't finished the series either, right? Like that's
I
like
don't think so. I think it's probably still ongoing, which is
I
kind of
think
fucked.
I know. I think that's like the issue with the show. Like went off the rails in season 8 because they didn't have any like source material to go off
Yeah,
at the point.
I'll
But
believe it. Anyway,
alas, yeah,
you're a producer.
yeah,
Am I correct? Yeah.
yeah.
What do you like to make?
I like to make a lot of stuff. It's kind of changed over the years. I think when I started out, I was really into like hip hop and trap beats. Like that's kind of where I got my start. Kind of where I found my lane. I think I got like FL Studio, like my friend. Shout out Johnny Lawtester. He loaned me a copy of FL Studio my
Classic.
sophomore year of college, and yeah, I just never looked back. And I really just started by making trap beats, and I think what I loved to do at first was I would deconstruct beats. So like my favorite songs and my favorite beats that I would listen to, I would just try and go in an FL and like recreate the beat myself, and that's kind of how I started getting into making beats and producing, and yeah. So nowadays it's kind of different. I think I've moved away from just making hip hop and trap. I mean, I listen to like everything. Like my music taste, and as far as what I listen to, is pretty diverse, I'd say.
Okay.
And so I think I kind of reflect that in my production too. Like I have like EDM tracks that I've made. I have jazz type beats, acoustic
Okay.
rock. I mean, it's just whatever I'm feeling. So
Little double
uh,
R Benny jazz album. That would be sick.
who knows, man? Maybe one of these days. I
That
got a
would
lot of
be
stuff to get through first, but
that would be so fire. Dude,
yeah,
I love FL.
yeah.
I started on I pirated a copy, sue me, whatever, it's not on me anymore.
Hey,
I pirated a
man.
copy of FL when I was younger, and that's literally the first DAW that I ever touched. And
Yeah,
it's fantastic. But then I was like, let me do this legit because I want to keep doing this and I want like the possibility of the future. So I
yeah,
downloaded Logic, and that's what I've been making beats on.
yeah.
Um, yeah. So FL Fire. Gross Beat is an insane plugin.
I
Um,
remember when I first discovered Grossbeat. I think I saw it on like a YouTube tutorial like way back in the day, and I was like, "Yo," I was like, "This is it."
it's crazy.
I was like, "This is all I need." But no, Logic is dope. I like Logic. I don't have it. I mean, I had it at one point. I don't really use it too much, but I
If you had it
first
at one
started.
point, then you still got it.
I think I pirated it,
Oh, never
but
mind.
but I was gonna say like I think that's like a rite of passage for like bedroom producers. Is like you pirate FL or
It's
some
like you
DAW,
want it that bad that you're just like,
yeah, and you
screw
just
the
like
laws.
you go into Google and like how to get Logic for free
Yeah,
2020
no, literally.
whatever the year is,
Yeah,
but
and I was like stuck on that one version of FL, and then like 2 months later they came out with a new one. I was like, and it
ah,
added like a bunch of stuff to it. I was just like,
you're like, oh, now I gotta find another crack.
I was like, now I gotta figure this out all over. I don't want to do this. So then I was just like, I'll just save the 200 for Logic and
Yeah.
call it a
And
day.
the interesting thing is like before I had FL Studio, I actually should have specified. So like I got serious about making beats in FL Studio, but I really started making beats on GarageBand, like on some Steve Lacy shit, even though
Fire.
I didn't sound anywhere as good as him at the time. But yeah, like literally GarageBand mobile on my phone, like not even on my laptop, but I'll just make beats on my phone, like in class or at church or something, like
I
whenever I was
forgot.
bored.
Forgot iPhones could do that. I'm a scrub rocking an Android.
Hey man, I don't discriminate.
That shit's crazy.
But yeah, yeah.
Does GarageBand have the drum sequencer?
Yeah, yeah, it does. It's they have like the step sequencer, right? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's as like robust as like the Logic version.
That's still, knowing Apple, it's probably like 85% of the way there. And
Yeah,
like that's
it's
plenty.
it's like Logic Light, basically.
That shit's
Um,
crazy.
so yeah, that's kind of how I started it. Then once my friend got me at FL, then I was like, all right, let me try and get serious about it.
Yeah. Fire, man.
Sure.
That's nuts. How did so who's your influences then? Who
Mm.
inspires the ideas? Who do you think?
I don't know, dude. It's hard to say. Like I said, just because like I've grown up listening to so many different styles of music throughout my life.
What'd you grow up listening to?
Um, Well, so my family's from Ethiopia, so like I grew up listening to like a lot of Ethiopian music. And that was like always playing in the car when my parents were driving at home. I grew up in the church. My parents raised me in the church, and I grew up. My parents would serve on like the worship teams and stuff. And so like I grew up listening to like a lot of gospel, a lot of contemporary Christian music. Um, I really loved Kirk Franklin. I would say like Kirk Franklin. I don't know if you know Kirk Franklin.
Yep.
He's like one of the OG gospel artists, and like it's just crazy like how intricate and dynamic and expressive like gospel music can be. Like it's really artistic, and I think that's like the flip side of like what most people associate with like contemporary Christian music is just like a four chord kind of more bland sound, but yeah, so like stuff like that. I guess like once I got into like middle school and stuff, I really got into like electronic. I was listening to like a lot of Owl City. Like shout out Adam Young.
Oh,
I don't know why. I was just like I had like this phase. I mean, I still rock Owl City, but like I was like hardcore, like from like fourth grade up until like maybe seventh grade. I was just blasting Owl City all the time. And then my middle school obsession was Coldplay. Like I don't know where it came from. I think my brother like had the Viva La Vida album when it came out, and I don't know, just did something to me, and I got obsessed with Coldplay for like a good 3 years. And then after that, I got into like the hip hop and like the rap game. Like when I got to high school, I started listening to a lot more of like hip hop and rap.
kind
I
of
was like really
rappers.
a what kind of rappers?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, it was pretty mainstream at first. Like I was really into
No
Travis
shame.
Scott. I mean Travis Scott was I like him. I don't listen to it as much these days. Just cause like I guess my musical tastes have shifted a little bit as I get older. But I was listening to a lot of Travis Scott, like Kendrick Lamar, Schoolboy Q, a lot of those guys from Top Dog, J. Cole, and yes, and then Tyler the Creator. I don't know at that point. I think I was maybe 15. It was like it was sophomore year. I think it was around the time I met you, honestly.
Fire.
Because we had sophomore English together, right?
Yep.
And I remember Sam, she was like talking to me about Tyler the Creator or something. I was like, who's that? Like I was like, Tyler the Creator, like that's such a weird name. And I was like, that's his whole name. So I was like, let me check this guy out.
What was that, like
And
Cherry Bomb era?
yeah, I think it was like right around the time that one. What album did he drop in 2017?
Flower Boy?
Flower Boy, yeah.
Right,
I
right.
think it was around the time Flower Boy was about to like right before Flower Boy came out, something like that. It was around
Yeah.
that time anyway, and I think it was like between Cherry Bomb and Flower Boy, and so I got hooked onto him, and yeah, and so then like after that, just kind of like started branching out, listening to whatever. I love also I'll say musical influences. I love bossa nova. Like I should have
Hell yeah.
I should have started with that. Like it was around the time, and I know you appreciate this too because you're Brasileiro and everything. But
Dude, the freaking
um,
the chords on that is
yeah,
crazy.
yeah, dude. It was like around the time the 2014 World Cup was in Brazil.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I don't know, I had like soccer fever in like full effect. I was just obsessed. And then like somehow it led to me becoming like really fascinated by like Brazilian like culture, pop culture and
It's
stuff.
a crazy history.
Yeah, yeah, dude. And I just remember like there's that one Black Eyed Peas song with Sergio Mendes, um,
Away? Lies.
Mas
You're
Que
putting me
Nada.
on today. What's it
Yeah,
called?
Mas Que Nada. It's like a remix of like an older song that Sergio Mendes released back in like the
What?
60s or something. I think that was for like the 2006 World Cup. They made that song.
That's crazy.
Um,
I did not know about that.
yeah, yeah, you got to check it out. I love that's like one of my favorite all-time songs. But yeah, I just got like super fascinated and interested in like like Brazilian culture and music and samba and bossa nova and like I love like Astrid Gilberto, Gilberto, Stan Getz,
Yeah,
Antonio Carlos Jobim, like all those guys. Like I became like super obsessed with, and so
some
like bossa
goats.
nova is like a really big thing for me. Like I love bossa nova.
Hell yeah, man. I'm gonna put you on one. You should listen to a guy named Tim Maya.
Tim Maya.
Yeah,
All right, I'm gonna
he
check him
makes
out.
amazing. It's all in Portuguese, unfortunately, but
I don't care. It's fine with
it's
me.
phenomenal.
Music is a universal language, you know.
I love that.
You don't have to understand it to feel it.
Exactly.
I just
Exactly.
wrote that down by the way, like the name of that guy. I'm gonna check him out.
Yeah, bro, peep him. He's fire with those headphones too.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
And so yeah, speaking of the headphones, what's the setup? What are we rocking? Like what's we rocking Windows, we rocking Mac OS, whatever.
Yeah.
Um yeah, what's good?
So yeah, I mean the laptop I'm using right now is like a really old MacBook from like 20. I think I got this like as a graduation gift after high school, like 2017 or 2018 model.
Fire.
Um,
Still fantastic.
it's great. It definitely I think it's definitely time for upgrade. She's kind of on her last legs. But so I had a Mac for my first computer, and so I was rocking that for the longest time. And then I recently built a PC. You can't see it; it's behind my laptop. But I built a PC for the first time, which was a really fun experience.
Hell yeah.
Back last March,
You
and so I'm
yourself?
rocking Windows. Yeah, yeah. It's a lot. It sounds scarier than it is. Like I'll say it takes some effort, but I would say like the best way to describe it, it's like Legos for adults. Like that's
Yeah,
it.
man. I watch like I watch tech videos whenever I'm bored. Like
Yeah,
people
yeah.
like watch sports and shit. I'm like keeping track
No,
of all tech. Like
yeah, man.
to date this recording kind of I was literally just watching the Apple Vision Pro shit. I was like,
Oh yeah.
what's going on with that? And
It's crazy. It's crazy.
it's literally the next wave.
Every
And
every year we get closer to the obese people in Wally.
I know, dude. I I saw a couple reviews and one of them like brought that concern up and I was just like, they're like, it's the only computer you're using alone. And I was just like,
Right.
that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you
I don't know.
literally can't show people right now like what you're doing.
I don't know. I'm not sure if I want to hold off on getting one of those things. Like I've used like the VR headsets and those are a lot of fun, but I don't know. I want to stay in the real world as long as I can.
Yeah, man. I can't wait till they do because it's like a pretty much a VR headset. I can't wait till it's like they're because I think their goal is like AR, augmented reality.
Yeah, that's what it really seemed
And
like.
so like that is like chill because then you can at least like interact with people, I think. If you're
Yeah,
going like
you're
that
still like
direction.
semi interacting like with the real world. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd rather do that than like the metaverse.
Yeah, no, facts. Metaverse is a little weird.
It's the Matrix.
For real, man. All right. So do you play any instruments, man? Or just like are you just on the DAW? What's good? I'm gonna
Nah,
say it all that.
so
I'm gonna cut that out. Fuck it. Do you play
nah,
any
dude.
instruments, man?
It's like I don't know if you watch um Trailer Park Boys, J-Rock. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? That's gonna be you. But nah, so like I before I learned any DAWs, I grew up playing instruments. So my parents decided to put me in piano lessons when I was like probably like 8 years old. Like my brothers both played like musical instruments growing up, so like they just wanted me to do
Fire.
it too.
Piano?
So yeah, piano's the
That is
first instrument I learned.
that's
Um,
lit.
yeah, and it was kind of like the gateway drug for music because after that, I just started like trying to learn a bunch of stuff. I really like. It was like around the time when Rock Band was popping off. I think it was my uh, like 10th Christmas. My parents bought me and my brothers Rock Band. It was like the whole set. It was a Rock Band too. It was like it had the guitar, the drums, the microphone, and everything.
Fire.
And so I started playing the drums on Rock Band too. Like that's how I got into to percussion. And I was like, yo, like I have a decent sense of rhythm, and I'm like, I kind of like really like playing like banging on stuff, I guess. So you know, I kind of begged my parents incessantly for like 2 years, and then eventually they caved in, like, all right, we'll let you take drum lessons. And then they bought me a like a drum set, like it's
Your
really
parents are
cheap one.
awesome. What the
God
hell?
bless them. God bless them. They wouldn't let me do karate, but they let me
Hey, that's smart.
Yeah, they wouldn't let me do anything that like risked concussions. There's like no American football at all.
No, 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 no. Yeah, no.
um,
That's
but
sick.
yeah, so I started playing the drums when I was about 12. I started taking lessons, and then I think when I was like in high school, like around 14 or 15, I started teaching myself how to play the guitar, just like off of YouTube. Um,
Hell yeah.
and yeah, and then I kind of just slowly got good at that, and then I was like, all right, I'm kind of like I hadn't mastered it, obviously. I still haven't, but I was proficient at the time. And then I was like, I need to find something else to conquer, and so I was like on some colonizer mindset. It's just like, let me
No, I'm like that too. I started on I taught myself ukulele in high school, and then afterwards I was like, what about the mandolin? Like
yeah,
that's four
it's
strings.
yeah, right.
It's a
It's
violin. Like I was in an
pretty
orchestra for
much.
a while. Like, come on now.
Yeah, and it's like infectious. You just like want to try everything almost. And
Yeah.
so
As
I
soon as
started
I can,
teaching
I'm getting a
myself.
drum set. Like that's say that
Good.
because I had the same experience. Like growing up, I played Guitar Hero. Like when they added the band shit. Because at first I thought it was a little
Yeah.
corny, and then they came out with like the drum set from Guitar Hero. I will just say it's a little bit better. Um, they came out with the like because it had like the cymbals on top, so that was
Yeah,
just like
it's crazy.
it was fire. And then so I literally had like a similar arc in like learning like I was playing I was the one playing drums. My dad and my
Hmm.
brother were on guitar and bass, and then I don't know, someone else was singing. My mom, maybe, I don't know. Probably not. And then yeah, and then I was just like, this is not the most difficult thing in the world. I
Right?
can
Yeah.
and then I was like, And then I was like, it's also fun as hell.
Yeah.
And
It's like
then
once
yeah,
you learn one, it keeps like progressively making it a little bit easier for you. Like it kind of just unlocks a new part of your brain. You're like, oh, this
literally,
makes sense. But
literally.
yeah, and then after guitar, like I kind of started teaching myself bass. So that was probably like the last instrument I learned. Or I guess yeah, that I taught myself how to play. I tried to teach myself saxophone. Um,
That's a
uh,
whole beast. My dad plays sax.
yeah,
That is a whole beast.
yeah, I taught myself how to play the lick from the tequila song, like da, 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 da.
Uh,
I taught myself how to play that. And I was like, all right, that's enough. Like I
that's
can
a lot.
I don't know how and it was like a busted reed. Like the reed was literally like cracked halfway down the middle, but somehow like squeaks and all, I managed to pull it off. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go back to the other instruments for now, and then maybe we'll come back.
Makes sense. Makes sense. I like that. That's lit though. Saxophone.
Yeah. My brother played saxophone in high school band, like my oldest brother. I don't know why he just never stuck with it. I don't know if it was something that he just did to do as an extracurricular or if he just
What kind of
lost
saxophone?
interest.
Alto.
Alto sax, yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, my dad plays saxophone in his free time, and he's got like all the sizes. It's crazy. He's got like the straight ones too that look like a metal
Oh
clarinet.
yeah, that's great. Yeah, it's like
It's nuts.
collecting all the saxophones like an
And they're all from
Infinity
like
Stones.
1920.
Oh what?
They're like something crazy because he's like, that's when
Dang.
they were made best. And I was like, all right, dad.
That's such like an old geezer thing to say. Like they don't make them the same nowadays.
I mean, and he's kind of right. Like, that
No, I
sounds
don't.
awesome.
I'm sure. I'm sure they're probably like really heavy. I bet compared
They're
to
so heavy, dude.
yeah.
They're like, because I tried playing once and it's like 25 pounds on my neck. And I'm just like,
Gosh.
man, bro, your back is built different.
Right. Just hope he doesn't have back problems. He'll probably have less back problems because of it.
God, hopefully. I mean, hopefully not, because that means I'll have the same back problems that he has right now, except worse. Ugh.
Yeah.
What about like video game songs? Like, what do you think about that? Music and video games.
Oh yeah, yeah, dude. I love video like bro, like I love video game soundtracks. Like that, I think that's a big like reason why I have like such a diverse taste in music. Like going back to my earlier point, because I loved listening to video game soundtracks growing up. Like that was like one of the parts of video games that like I would engage with the most. Not just like I'm not saying I didn't care about the gameplay, obviously, um, but like it would draw my attention and I don't know, like a video game soundtrack, like in the same way like a movie score can really, set the tone, set the mood and ambiance of the scene.
Oh my
Video
God,
game
yeah.
soundtrack can really do the same thing for a video game story or like whatever, the multiplayer functionality or whatever it is. But like just off the top of my head, some of my favorite video game soundtracks, um, Sonic the Hedgehog, like the
Oh,
OG Sega
yeah.
Genesis. Um, let's see, dude. I don't know what those guys over at Sega in Japan were on when they were making those video games soundtracks, but the Sega soundtracks just in general are fire. Like it's crazy. Um,
It's the mushrooms in their diet.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And I'm not talking shiitake.
Nah.
But yeah, and then like Halo, like the on Xbox,
Yes.
Martin O'Donnell, hands down, like
That
probably
dude
one of my favorite
that
composers
dude
ever.
deserves the sloppiest top.
Nah, yeah, this the sloppiest, bro. I don't know what he was on when he was in that studio, but the Halo 3 soundtrack, even the Halo 2, man, all of the Halo soundtracks, I literally have them like I had them like the albums on my phone like back in like middle
Yep.
school and stuff, and people would roast me. They're like, "Yo, why are you listening to video game
Nah.
soundtracks?" I'm like, "Bro, you don't understand.
No,
You
you
don't
don't.
understand, bro."
Especially
Uh,
after you learn like music theory, at least for me, or like
yeah.
how music works. Like, bro, that shit's crazy.
Yeah, yeah, I know. It's wild. And like the thing I love too is like I'll see like his music, like songs from like the Halo soundtrack in like random places. I remember like I saw it was like on there's like one on a TikTok video. It was like a TikTok trend that was going on like a year ago. It got really popular. A lot of people were using the sound from the soundtrack. And then like I would look in the comments and people would be like, yo, like what's this song? Like where's this from? Like this is crazy. And I was like, yeah, like this is fire, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not just me.
They're using a Halo song in a TikTok.
Yeah, it was like I can't remember. It was I'm trying to remember which one it was. It was the string section. I'm thinking of Amaya right now because she's really into orchestral music. She'd
Yeah, bro.
probably mess with this.
Bro, when you were talking about GarageBand, I was like, bro, that is crazy that you and Amaya were both doing that. Like, cause she
Yeah.
also, I don't know, I don't know if she has like any other dog, but she's like at least on GarageBand right now, and
Oh,
I'm
really?
like,
Still in GarageBand? That's
yeah, I
crazy.
think as far as I checked, like, so those singles that she put out, that's
Yo,
all GarageBand.
that's crazy. That's actually fire. Mad respect
She
that
put
you
out
and
a
Maya.
video. She was like, this is how kind of how I did it. This is like she did a little
I
genius
I
deconstructed.
saw, yeah, I saw one. I didn't see the whole thing. I saw part of one. I didn't realize this in GarageBand. I don't know why. I just assumed it was Logic. I mean, they look pretty similar, but still,
Yeah,
that's just crazy. That's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah, bro.
But it was from the Halo 3 soundtrack. It's like the last piece. It's like at the end of the game, like and like the closing scene. It's called Tribute, and like there's like this really pretty string section that plays like halfway through the song, and like that was like going all over TikTok for some reason, and it was like really funny too, because like it was so out of context, and like the context of like the meme videos that it was showing up and was just so bizarre, but it was hilarious.
That's
But
fire, man.
anyway,
I love Halo. Halo is my favorite video game like series ever.
I'm very happy you said that. That's a based opinion to
Like
have.
ever, bro.
Everybody was playing Call of Duty. Like, I don't know. I didn't
Yeah.
have that many friends playing Halo. Like,
And that's
it was
something that
just
my
me.
parents did that were great because they were like, you can't buy games where you're killing people. And I was like, all right, that's fair. But I
But
was
you could
like,
kill aliens.
Halo is
Yeah.
extraterrestrials.
Yeah. There's morals to this because we're
The
trying to
blood
save
is
the human
blue.
race.
All
Exactly.
right.
Bro, I'm having flashbacks to making the same exact case to my dad. He's like, there's too much. He's like, it's rated M. It has gore. I was like,
Yeah.
Dad, it's alien blood. It's not real.
Yep. Exactly.
It's like we
Exactly.
live the same life, dude.
I know that's what I'm saying. I mean, yeah, we're cut from a similar cloth, man. And
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Olathe, all
I
that.
like wow. Shout out O Town.
For real, for real. Damn, bro. If I'd have known like that many musical people would have come out of Northwest, like I'm shocked,
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Shout out TG Beam, Tolu, man. He's doing his thing in
Facts.
LA.
That's actually
Um,
crazy. Yeah, he opened up for Earth Gang.
yeah, dude. Enrico Nasty.
Whoa, I did not know that.
Yeah. I believe, yeah. I'm pretty sure it was both Earth Gang and Enrico. I don't know if it was the same show or two different ones, but
That's
he did
crazy.
open for Rico Nasty back when he was in Durham. He's in LA now doing his thing. He actually sent me some stems. I gotta work on mixing for him.
Oh, no
So
way.
yeah, hopefully it comes out all right. I haven't really. This is like my first time like mixing stuff for other people, so hopefully it doesn't come out too shitty. I don't know if it
Hell
was.
yeah, man.
I don't know if I was supposed to sign an NDA and not talk about that, but I don't think he'd care.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. He can yell at
He's
me.
he's pretty chill. Yeah, I'll direct the hate to you.
Yeah, yeah.
Shout out who else came out of Northwest? You know, damn, it was like
Bro, Amaya
I mean, yeah, Maya obviously.
and Julian, Rare Juice.
Yeah, Rage Gang Beam Team, dude.
Yeah,
That
bro.
shit was lit, man.
And I don't know if you know
Playing,
Mikkel Evans. He also came out of Northwest.
yeah,
He's
Mikhail
insane.
XL. What's happened to him? I haven't heard from him in a minute. Is he still doing music and stuff?
Yeah,
Or?
he's still doing music. I think it's like a little bit. He's a little bit on the background now.
Yeah,
He's like focusing on like
life
making
stuff.
some more immediate bread.
Yeah, nah,
Um,
understandable. Got to do what you got to do,
based on what I understand, but I think he's still got it. He's still got it. I mean, he's still insane on the mic, but
dude. I remember like hearing him like freestyle and stuff, like in like the gym and stuff before class. I'm like, dude, like kind of got a crazy flow,
yeah.
like, and
And like
he has like the energy, you
yeah,
know.
and Ethan Weeks. I don't know if you remember him.
Yeah, yeah.
He's a DJ. You know,
Oh, word.
not like I wouldn't say regularly, but like
Hey, man, that's cool.
I went to one of his sets in Lawrence. He got to perform in the Bottleneck in Lawrence,
Oh, shoot.
and fucking I was there listening to it, and it was fire. It was
Dude,
insane.
that's what's
And
up,
so
man.
I think he might still be teaching. I know he like wanted to be an English teacher.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that's at least what he went to college for. And but yeah, now he's he DJs, man. He's a good DJ.
That's what's up, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
haven't. I'm trying to. Where's the bottleneck? You said that's in Lawrence.
Yeah, yeah.
Is
It's a little venue there. It's like a
I've never
little
heard of that.
theater kind of.
Dang, I don't remember that.
Yeah, it's a little that's where so I met Brendan Urie one time
Okay.
from Panic at the Disco,
Yeah, yeah.
and that was because he was performing at the Bottleneck. So he was
Ah,
at the Oriad. Anyway,
hey, word.
um
Wait,
that's
is the
how I found out
bottleneck?
about it.
Is that the cave? That's not the cave, is it?
No, 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 no.
Oh,
No,
okay.
Cave is a bar. Love
I
the
was gonna
Cave.
say they didn't change the cave.
No,
That place
Cave is
is.
still like a rave bar. It's fire.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. It's been a while since I've been to the. It's been a while since I've been in Lawrence, but it's been a while since I've been to the
Yeah, where
cave.
you at nowadays?
I'm residing in Charlotte, North Carolina, my man.
Shout out.
Yeah,
Shout out.
yeah, Queen City, baby.
Queen City.
I moved out here literally like a week before the pandemic hit. I came out here. This is when I was still at Kansas, like going to school at KU, Rock Chalk, and
Yes, sir.
I was here. I came out to my parents had just moved to Charlotte, so I came out to visit them on spring break, and it was like it was like March 8th when I got here, and then the next week, everything shut down. And so then like
Damn.
I was stuck in Charlotte. And then I ended up getting accepted. That's around the time I transferred to UNC Chapel Hill. So then like I just what ended up being spring break ended up becoming a permanent move. So
That's
I
crazy.
kind of just lost like the entire second half of my sophomore year, unfortunately. But it is what it is.
And then you transferred to North Carolina?
Yep. Became a Tar Heel.
Damn.
I know. What's crazier is that they
That
both went
basketball
to the
game must have
final.
been
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah, bro, bro. It's funny, man. Like I was like the only person wearing KU in a sea of Tar Heel blue, and
Dude, how
like
did you not get like jumped?
I don't know, man. I guess like UNC fans actually have a little bit of class, I guess. But
That's great.
the watch party I was at for that game, I was wearing a KU jacket over a UNC shirt, so I had both teams on. And so
Damn.
I was like, one way or another, I'm winning tonight. Like it doesn't matter who wins, I'm gonna
It's
win
like they
either
both
way,
got blue in it.
right? So I was like, I'm walking out of here with a dub, no matter
Low
who
key
wins.
dripping. Like,
Yeah, right. And I was like, you got that Roy Williams connection because he coached at Kansas before he went to UNC.
I did not know
Um,
that.
yeah, fun fact. And now everybody was like, "Oh, so you're trying to pull Roy Williams on us?" It's like,
Yep.
I guess, yeah, you
Russ
could say that.
Williams.
It's funny because during the game, UNC was like up by like 15, right, at like the half,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
so like I had my KE jacket on. I was like, all right, I unzipped my KE jacket when UNC was up by 15, and then the second half came around, and then Kansas just completely came back. So
We're
I
a second
just
half team.
started zipping up my jacket. Everybody's like, "Man, get this guy out of here, man! What the fuck?" I was like, "Hey,
Oh,
man,
that's awesome. So you're coming out with a new project on February 2nd.
yep,
What is it called
yeah." It's
for the
called
viewers?
a view of Rome. A
A
view of
View of
Rome.
Rome.
Yes, yes.
Fantastic.
It's a single.
Can you tell me a little bit about it? Do you want to tell me a little bit about it? It's okay if you don't.
No, yeah, I mean, I'm
Hopefully
assuming
this
this
comes out before then. I'm hoping.
is that the goal.
That's such
Okay.
the goal.
Okay. Well, I won't say too much. I'll say enough, but not enough so you can listen to it and still feel like it's something new to you. But yeah, it's a song I made like last September, October. It was like last fall. Um, at the time I was working at UPS. Like I was in between jobs, and so I just started working at UPS just like to hold something down for the time being. It was the shittiest job I've ever worked. I don't
Oh,
recommend I don't recommend anybody work at UPS unless like you literally have nothing else going for you. It felt like modern slavery. And
damn.
it was just brutal, depressing physical labor, like working in the warehouse, in the trailers, and like 95 plus heat, barely get to sit down, take a water break or whatever. And so I was just like miserable at the time. I was just at a
Full
really
time?
miserable. Say what?
Is it full time?
No, no. See, they don't even let you work full time because they know it would be like criminal. Like,
That's
so you can only work
crazy.
part time unless I guess you're like on management. But yeah, I was just like in a kind of a miserable point in my life, and I just remember I wasn't even working on music like that much at this point. Like, I kind of had fallen off out of making music, and I was just like really stressed about like a ton of stuff in life, as one does when you're in your early 20s. And so yeah, I just remember like I had the idea to make like the chord progression, the main chord progression in the song. Like the first thing I usually do whenever I come up with a song, there's two ways that I come up with like making music. It's either like I'll try and like if I'm making a beat, like I'll just try and like sample something that I think sounds cool, or just like throw something and see what sticks and then build off of it.
Yep.
Usually I hear something in my head first though. Like that's like the main way. And usually the best music that I make is something that I hear in my head first. And then it's kind of crazy because like, most of the time like I lose, I don't know, 60-70% of the ideas I hear.
Yep.
So it's like I have to like capture it while it's in my head, which is a skill that I kind of had to work on, and it doesn't always work out. But
Yeah, I'm in the same boat.
yeah, yeah, and you just got to keep doing it. But I heard the like guitar, the main guitar chord progression that kind of like carries the I guess melody of the song, for lack of a better explanation. I just heard it in my head, and and it just kept kind of like looping in my head. And so I remember I was at work, like I was at work in the trailer, loading a trailer full of boxes for UPS, and I was just hearing that guitar in my head, and so I kind of just started to create the song in my head a little bit, like just trying to imagine like the beat and stuff. And so when I got home, I threw like the idea into FL Studio, and it didn't sound it never sounds like it does in your head at first.
No.
um and that's the crazy part, is like you have to be like you kind of got to be patient and kind of keep working on it. Sometimes it's a waste and you're like, ah, this is stupid, and you just throw it away. But I was like, what, let me I played it, and I made it at night, and then I was like, this is garbage. I was like, let me just come back to tomorrow morning. And I came back to it, and I was like, okay, like I could see like what I was trying to do. Let me kind of like build off of this a little bit and flesh it out. And then I got like a working demo, and I was like, okay, this is cool. The problem is I had an instrumental at that point. Like I had a really good sounding instrumental, but I do not know how to write lyrics. I'm really bad at songwriting. I'm getting better at it. I think I'm probably more critical than you would be of me if you heard my songwriting. I mean, you're gonna hear it in 2 days. So,
Oh yeah.
um, but I'm not a songwriter, and so I was like, man, I gotta like come up with a way to put lyrics to this. And I think that's like one of the things that held me back from putting out music in the past, was like I didn't want to put out beats because I was like, man, like people aren't gonna take the time to listen to my music if there's no lyrics. Like it's not. It has to be more engaging. And I wish I didn't have that mindset. Looking back, I wish I would have just started putting out stuff even without lyrics. But so I was just like really nervous, and just like not confident that I could like make a song because I didn't know how to write lyrics. Um, but the thing is, I think everybody kind of knows how to write lyrics. I mean, I think everyone has the ability to at least, but you just kind of got to dig for it a little bit, because at the end of the day, it's all about relatability, right? Like relating music is like a relational tool in a way. So
Hmm,
if you're human, you automatically know how to relate, right? So you just gotta like kind of work on digging out um that relatability with from within yourself. And so yeah, I just started like working on lyrics slowly, and I started like watching a lot of podcasts and like tutorials on how to write songs and stuff. And I learned that I don't know a lot about writing songs, which is like, okay, maybe that's why I'm not the best at writing songs, because haven't really tried to learn a whole lot about it. And I
makes
think you could
sense.
apply that. You could apply that to like almost anything in life. Like everything seems scary at first. Like, I'm sure for you, like just making beats at one point was probably a little bit scary.
I
I
mean,
mean, it
yeah,
was for
I
me.
another guy from Northwest, shout out Alex Manriquez. He
Yeah. Shout out
put
Alex.
me on. I was watching him make beats on Logic,
Hmm.
and that's kind of why I was drawn towards Logic too.
Hmm.
And yeah, he was a huge influence of mine. And shout out him. Hope he's doing well. He's in LA doing some, or at
Yeah.
least California.
I heard he was doing like some work with like Toro y Moi at one
Yeah,
point.
yeah,
Um,
he got big. Like I would say
Dang.
he got large.
Man, you
Um,
know what? I'm gonna say it though. Alex, if you're watching this, bro, you still owe me a copy of Logic. This dude,
oh,
this dude promised me like senior year of high school. He was like, bro, I was like, dude, is there any way you can get me Logic? Because I didn't have a DAW at the time. And so I was like, bro, is there any way you can get me Logic? And he's like, yeah, bro, I got you. Like, no worries. Like, I got you. And then like he just never came through. And then I never saw him after we graduated. So I never got Logic. But then I ended up getting FL Studio, so I guess it worked out. But
there you go. All right, so we're back. Took a little break there. And Benny, please continue telling us about this glorious single that you're about to put out.
yeah, so the single, like I was saying, I like kind of had the idea
A
when I
view
was,
from Rome.
yeah, view of Rome.
A view
Um,
of Rome. I didn't say
yes.
that.
um, but yeah, so like when I started writing the lyrics to the song, it was like I was trying to think of like a narrative, and usually the way I've come to like make my process in songwriting is that like I just like I make melodies first. I don't really think of lyrics, so like I just kind of come up with
This
like a
man's
musical.
answering questions I didn't even like think to ask.
I'm one step ahead of you, but
Yeah,
what was
bro.
it? But yeah. So like I said, I'm not really that much of a songwriter, at least not yet. So like I always think about things in terms of the music first, and so the voice is essentially an instrument. It's another instrument, and so there's a musicality in voice, obviously, and so
I had to
um
sing every morning at 8 in the morning for my last 2 years in college because I got a
no
music
way.
minor.
Ah.
And for that, you got to take like some like required gen ed-ish music skill like classes, you know?
Hmm.
It's like the gen ed for the music school.
Yeah.
And yeah, I had to sing every morning because I took aural skills, Aural. I gotta spell it every time. Um, and I was just singing scales. And like my final, I heard a song, sang. We had like um part of the music filled in front of us, and we were like, all right, what's the blanks? Fill in the blank musically.
Ah, yeah.
You can listen to it 2 times. That's it.
Yeah, and then you just gotta like remember everything you just heard, right? It's scary.
Yeah, yeah. That was a crazy class. Anyway,
Yeah,
focus on the music first.
yeah. So like, yeah, like naturally, I don't really think of lyrics first. I always think of like the melodies first, and so like I'll kind of just like hum or sing like gibberish to like whatever tune I'm thinking of, and so like it'll be just like nonsense. It won't have like any cohesiveness. Maybe there'll be like a few words or phrases here and there that like just like kind of come out naturally. Um, but for the most part, it's just a bunch of rambling gibberish that's just melodic. And then
Hell yeah.
once I get like the melody of what I want to sing down, that's when I go and start working on lyrics.
Me and my homies love melodic gibberish.
Yeah, play that melodic gibberish for me, baby.
Mm.
um, but yeah, so then once I get the melody down, that's when like the real like hard part for me is like coming up with words. Words are hard, man.
Words are
Um,
so hard.
yeah, and so that's like where like all the research and learning about like the art of songwriting comes into. But really, the main thing was like to come up with like a narrative. And so the song, it's a slow song. Like I think it's like 77 beats per minute. So it's like a lot more mellow, like slow, um, and it's kind of like melancholy in a way. And so, obviously, like I knew it was going to be like a sentimental narrative that I wanted to tell with the song. And so, the idea like that I was getting, like as I was making like the gibberish and the phrases were coming out, um, like the ideas that I were coming with was like the lyrics were about like kind of regret, like over past mistakes or maybe like a lack of taking action in the past. And so I kind of just kept going down that path. And the song's kind of, it's kind of about like a guy, like I try to, like I said, create a narrative. So um the narrative is kind of like about a guy that is um just like distraught with himself and upset that he didn't like make a move to like get to know a girl that he was interested in and had a crush on. And because of like, you know, his own insecurities or his own indecisiveness or whatever, he like missed the opportunity to like, you know, like make a relationship with someone, or at least try to make a relationship with this girl or whoever. And the so that's kind of like the premise of the song is like regret over a missed opportunity is kind of like the central, I guess, idea. And
I like
so
that.
yeah, and so
Like if you don't try, you're automatically failing.
yeah, right. It's like you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And
Wayne
so
Gretzky, Michael Scott.
Michael Scott, yeah. And so the way that the title of View of Rome came out was that um, I was in Rome. I wanted to say last summer. Like it's crazy how time flies. It's already been 2 years since 2022.
I was about
Uh,
to, like since 2019, like time isn't
bro,
really.
like my concept of time since COVID is just
No one talks about
non-existent,
that.
bro.
I mean, a lot of people
Yeah,
talk about that, but like no one's doing anything about that.
yeah, dude. Like mentally, bro, I'm still like, I'm still like, this is like the first, like recently, like this since 2024 started is like the first year where I was like, okay, like I'm actually like kind of an adult now. Like I'm not 19 anymore. Like
For
mentally,
real.
I've been 19 for like the past 3 years. I'm sure like you can, and a lot of people can relate to that idea, but like, yeah, it's just my perception of time has been like fundamentally destroyed since the pandemic. But anyway,
Man.
I went to Rome. I was in Italy in the summer of 2022 in July, and while I was there, you know, I got to tour and see all like the cool sites and stuff. And um, I was at the Vatican. I was touring the Vatican, and I remember in like one area of the Vatican, there was like this building, uh, like that you could go in, and there's like a balcony that you could see, or like a little, I don't know, terrace or whatever. There's like a little area where you could see like a view of Rome, a view of Rome. And so the reason I came up with that idea is because
Mm.
you'll see in a sec. So there was a girl um,
Oh.
that you know, I may have not found attractive at the time. And so she I came back to the US after that trip. And so she had she I didn't know. I saw it on Instagram randomly. She had went to Rome too, like 6 months later. And she like posted on her story like the exact same spot that I took my photo. I took a photo of that view of Rome, and she took like literally almost the exact same photo. Like I thought she had like taken like a photo off my phone somehow. I was like really like genuinely confused for a second. I was like, "Yo, how did you take the exact same photo I did? Like that's crazy. Like you were standing in the exact same spot that I was 6 months later, and like we never even like talked to, or anything about that."
Oh damn, it was
Um,
like 6 months after.
yeah, yeah, it
That's
was
crazy.
like I think it was in like January or December or something. And so it's just like a hella crazy coincidence. You know, like thousands of miles apart, we ended up standing in the same spot, taking the same photo. So like, you know, we looked at the same view and we're like, wow, like this is a nice view. Like we had the same thought, you know. It's just like separated by time, but everything else was the same. And so I thought that was like a really cool idea. And so I kind of tried to embed that narrative, or embed that idea into the narrative that I had already created. And so I guess I kind of personified myself in a way inside the song. And so that's where the idea of View of Rome came about. Was like the two characters, I guess, are kind of like separated, um, by like I guess that abstract concept of time and missing the opportunity, but like for a brief moment, like they were almost like together. It's almost like a what could have been type of idea.
Yeah,
So yeah, that's kind of how I came up with the idea of View From.
amazing. I love that. Um,
Thank
and
you.
then at this point, I think I would cut to the ending bit that I did.
Yeah, yeah, you
Unless
could
you want
just
to keep talking, bro. Whatever you want
no,
to
I
do.
mean,
I don't have any more questions. I'm gonna be honest.
hey man, no, I that's kind of like I figured like if I started talking about the song, I might as well like explain more about it since we got cut off earlier. So it's
No, yeah,
perfectly
yeah.
fine.
Of course, man. I'll just cut this back in. You're good.
Perfect. You'll just splice everything up. It'll be seamless.
Yeah, yeah.
They won't even know.
Bro, I'm a whiz on iMovie. Like,
Do your thing. Work your
no, I'm
iMovie wizardry.
not. Bro, Final Cut Bro seems so cool. Seems like a Logic version. I feel like Apple does that. They do
No,
like small and then big.
yeah, yeah, no, that's exactly the same idea I had. Like iMovie is to GarageBand what or I guess iMovie is to CapCut or Final Cut what GarageBand is to Logic Pro. So
Yeah, crazy.
they got their marketing on lock. I
Yeah, man, they got it figured out. Anyway, yeah. Again, thanks for hopping on, bro. You're awesome.
appreciate that. Thank
You're
you so
fucking
much.
you're fucking lit.
I'm sorry I couldn't get the audio to work, but
No, you go, bro. Doesn't matter. I can try and fix that too if need be, but I don't think it'll be fun.
if it sounds good to you, sounds good to me, man.
Yeah, man. All right, yeah, exactly. All right.
All
Appreciate
right,
you. Love you. Have the
love you too,
best
man.
time ever.
Peace and blessings. I'll see you later.
Yeah, check them out. All right. Zoom says there's less than a minute. Check out his new project. I'll have it linked in the description. This is the Right Brain Podcast. We're here with Double R Benny. Thanks for
It's all
being here.
good.
Love you. You're awesome. Check them out, y'all.
You're awesome.
Check them
Thank you
out.
for having me, dude. I appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah.